Okay, so let me start off by saying I'm obviously a lot calmer now. I'm still angry because I'm an asshole who's sick of this stuff happening. But I was honestly surprised by the I wouldn't say overwhelmingly positive, but at least not very negative response to the video, because I see people calling out the evils of Islam and they get death threats almost instantly. Yeah, from the religion of peace. What a shocker. I'm okay with keeping the discussion going, because this is a discussion that needs to be had, and these are actions that need to be taken. So I'd like to respond to some of the feedback on the video. This one I think is most important to respond to. You said it yourself. We can't f***ing do anything, and I'll let you read over it a little bit. So the other day I did basically speak in anger, and I was wrong. I was wrong on one thing anyway. I said that the common peasant like me can't do anything. Well, I was wrong. There are many things that you can do. It may not seem to have an immediate worldwide effect, because we do live in a world of instant gratification, and we're discouraged if we don't see something immediately happen. But because these are not situations that can be fixed in a day, a week, a month, or maybe even a year. But we can start the wheels turning. And there's things you can do to start those wheels turning. This, like I said, I'm not virtue signaling. I'm saying these are my beliefs. This is what I think needs to be done. This is what we need to do to save our people. So you can do videos like this. You can talk about your beliefs. You can find people you resonate with, and together you can start getting this message out. People need to be educated on the actual threat of Islam. They need to have the blinkers ripped off and say, "Hey, wake up, asshole! Look what's going on around you. Is this really what you want?" Another thing you can do, and turns out I've done this, you can get political. In countries like America and UK and England, and really even Germany and Sweden and France, you do still have a voice. I voted for Trump, and there goes my approval rating. Just dropping like a Moab, baby. But I voted for him not because I liked him as a person. One of the things that really pissed me off during the election, people were so incredibly selfish and stupid. Yes, he said some mean things, which I think points to a lot more honesty than any of the other candidates, really. But the fact is, I voted for him because make America great again. He's America first, which does kind of upset me at he's starting to intervene in the Middle East. But he is still America first. He's starting to restore the respect that people used to have for America. Yeah, just lobby your government. Hold your government accountable. Elect officials that actually have the people's interest in mind, not ones who appeal to your me, I want, now. Yeah, I'm talking about Bernie Sanders supporters. God, that guy pisses me off. And it's even same for Hillary Clinton. Like people were, like I was saying, talk about blinkers. People who weren't willing to see that she was a corrupt political gangster with a body list a mile long and who threatened to go to war with Russia over a suspected hacking that never actually happened. But she has a vagina. We just wanted her in office. And now we're trying to impeach Trump because he won a democratic election. Oh my god, what a dictator, right? And I know some people are probably going to respond with saying, well, it's actually about Comey. Okay, well, what about Bill Clinton? What's that, silence? Bill Clinton fired his FBI director, and then someone was, I can't remember, Seth something. I can't remember the last name for some reason. Seth something was found dead. And this was only like the next day, within the next 3 days after Nixon fired his FBI director. Someone very closely connected to the Clintons, who could have exposed the Clintons, died. No one talks about that. And personally, I think Comey should have been fired. And what's funny is that a lot of leftists, months ago, including Bernie Sanders, they wanted Comey fired. And I want him fired. I want him fired because he completely let Hillary off the line. I don't care if he didn't want Hillary to kill him, or if he was some pocket ally of the Clintons. He didn't do his job right. I'm glad his ass is out. So to cap up, there are things you can do. You can talk to people. You can educate people. You can lobby your government for better border control, for better vetting of immigrants, for, like Trump, imposing a travel ban a temporary travel ban, by the way, on countries associated with terrorism. And I think that list should be expanded. Not because I hate Muslims, but because I hate Islam. That's all there is to say about it. You do have a voice. Just like I have a voice. I made this video and it reached... And it's reached over 150 people. And at least 27 probably agree. I am incredibly small fry. And yet, I put out a video out there, and it reached more people than I could fit in my house. You do have a voice, especially if enough of us speak up. Alright? Don't let the media and our corrupt career politicians don't let them fool you into thinking that you have no voice, because that's what they want. Singularity Gaming agreed. We must fight not just against terrorism, but against the defamation of human rights and values. I absolutely agree, Singularity. Not only, but the thing is, Islam and the defamation of human rights and values are one and the same. This is a religion who, in at least 10 countries, in at least 10 Muslim majority countries, gays are killed just for their sexual preference. In at least 10 countries, female rape victims are stoned to death. Or women are stoned to death if their husbands even suspect or accuse them of infidelity, even if there's absolutely no basis. At least 10 countries oppose the death penalty for leaving the religion, for questioning the religion. Charlie Hebdo, you draw a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad, you get your ass gunned down. Political Islam is incredibly anti-human rights. Their women are treated like cattle. They can't agree, they hate all other religions. They have no freedom of religion, no freedom of speech unless you agree with Sharia law. It is incredibly dangerous to human rights and values. And yes, it should be fought against. Null Maton, I agree and understand your frustration, but as a Brit, how would you respond? And I'll give you a second to pause and read over his comment, because he actually lines it out pretty well. He makes some really good points there. Yes, no, we can't go to war. Because right now, like, you got places like Syria that are fraught with ISIS. It can't be fixed by Western intervention at this point. First off, Western intervention has really never made any of these already unstable countries better. I mean, look what happened after 9/11. We went after Osama bin Laden. Yeah, we got him, but hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Muslims were displaced or killed. Many of them who probably never would have actually committed a terrorist attack. And no, that's not self-contradicting. I do believe many Muslims are evil. And even many of the evil ones wouldn't commit a terrorist attack. But I do still think many of them are evil. What you can do, because here's me, American talking to a Brit, our great father country, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get serious. But as evidenced by Brexit, the British people still have a voice. You spoke up, the working class spoke up, and the government listened, and you guys left the EU. And now you have sovereignty. You can control your borders. You can do mass surveillance of hate-preaching mosques. You can keep an eye out for individuals like the Manchester bomber. He was running around in the streets yelling, "Death to infidels! Praise Allah! Allah Akbar!" for months before committing the bombing. And nothing was done to stop him. You can lobby your MPs. You can put people in office. As the people, you can put people in office that have your interest in mind. You can oust Islamic sympathizers like Sadiq Khan, who say that terrorism is just part and parcel of living in a major city. Bullshit. It doesn't have to be. Get his ass out of here, because he doesn't have your interest in mind. He only cares about being PC and protecting Muslims. Muslims who blew up children, who have attacked England twice in as many months. Because the fact is, like I said, we can't fix Syria. It's a country that can only fix itself. And right now, its own government is chemical bombing civilians, and all the fighting capable men pussied out to places like into welfare states like U.S. I mean, not like the U.S., but the U.K., Sweden and Germany and France, instead of their actual neighbors taking care of them. Like Saudi Arabia. Talk about. That's another thing about human rights. Saudi Arabia is one of the richest Gulf states in the Middle East. and yet it has taken in exactly 0 refugees, while it bitches at the Western world that they're not doing enough for taking in millions and millions and millions of them. So yes, Brits, like here in America, we got Trump in. You got Brexit to pass. You voted for sovereignty for the better of the people in general. You can keep doing that. No, you probably can't stop every terrorist attack. But and like I said to Detaluspictures, you can educate your fellow Englishmen on the threat, because they need to see what's going to go on. They need to see what's going on. They need to see what they can do to stop it. They need to be taught, because right now they've been indoctrinated with fear. And you can't let that happen, because fear, if you let it, will paralyze you. Like I said in the last video, there are 2 things you can do with fear. You can let it paralyze you, which is what people are letting it do. Or you can let it spur you into action. All I can say is, England, Null Maton, you guys gotta, every one of us has to help fortify our own country first. Because the Middle East is a complete mess. We can't fix it. Hell, in 10 years there probably won't even be a Syria. Just focus on keeping your country great, keeping your country safe. And talk to as many people as you can. Hell, like I said, just do videos like this. Reach out to people. There are people who resonate with this. There are people who resonate with your frustration of being stuck between taking action and not going to war. Find those people. Demonstrate. Protest. Hold your government accountable. You, the people, still have a voice. If Brexit doesn't show you that, nothing will. R. Murphy. I think the joke about this is how people started treating people kinder and then start acting like petty arseholes again. All religions are bad. In all honesty, I agree. Because me, as an agnostic, which I believe is the camp I fall into, I draw the line between religion and faith. Faith is quiet, compassionate. There's nothing wrong with faith. Faith is just the quiet practice of the belief. Religion is political. And right now, nothing is more dangerous than political Islam. Not only are political Islamists committing terror attacks, they're indoctrinating us with this whole concept of Western guilt. The idea that the West should deal with should have to bear the brunt of all these problems, of all the problems that are inherent within Islam. Because let me say this. Like I said, I'm agnostic. I don't necessarily practice any religion, but I do draw the line between faith and religion, and I have no problem with faith. I have every problem with the political side of religion. But I was raised by a strong, kind, compassionate, and wise Christian mother. She taught me to be a good man, how to think for myself, and how to speak out. And I'm glad for that. And the fact is, Christianity is flawed. Yes, but Christianity, or more accurately, Judeo-Christianity, Judaism and Christianity have formed the moral compass of the West, and that's yet another reason why Muslims hate us. Because we are founded on religions that promote the basic rights that in Islam they don't even allow their own people to have. So yes, political religion is bad. Faith isn't. And there are too many political Muslims right now to be ignored. This is still R. Murphy. History shows that what the radical Muslims want will never happen. Well, I absolutely hope not. And again, I hope this video reaches people and teaches them that, hey, no, you don't have to give in to this influx of radical Muslims immigrating to your countries and f***ing everything up for you, alright? You don't have to put up with this bullshit. You don't. Not sure if you know, but there were unexplained bangs going on near Manchester months in advance. The media acted like it was a practical joke. Well, maybe minutes before the bombings, an eyewitness spotted what might have been one of the co-conspirators in the attack. I believe, if I remember correctly, she basically said there was a woman. This lady, she spotted a woman with a bag. She was fidgeting with the bag, constantly glancing towards the direction where the bomb came from, and smirking to herself. And when the lady had security confront her, she was hard to understand, indicating that maybe English wasn't her first language. But on revealing this fact, security lectured the lady for making the suspect feel uncomfortable. And then the woman took off. She left the area, and mere minutes later, boom! Kids are dead. Now, could we have caught that woman, maybe stopped the bombing? We'll never know. But the fact is, these, like you said, there were unexplained bangs going on near Manchester in advance. And then you had the actual Manchester bomber himself running around in the streets yelling, Allah Akbar, death to infidels, preaching, praising Allah. These signs were there. And yet the media believed it was all jokes, so the people must have believed it was all jokes. You can't listen to your f***ing media, just like we can't here in America. We can't, because we can't trust them. They don't have our interests in mind. They don't report the news. They're political prostitutes to the religion of it, to political Islam. And I don't know, I don't know if you're English or not, but England, they need to start fixing themselves as well. They need to start fortifying themselves. And I hope they do, for their own sake, because I don't want any more children blown up. The Goat King. Agreed, let's nuke the Middle East. I admire your enthusiasm, Goat King, but there's a reason we haven't fired nukes in anger since World War II. In all seriousness, though, like I said in the last video, I don't think all Muslims are evil. I think evil is extremely prevalent in Islam, even more so than Christianity, far more so than Christianity or Judaism. But the fact is, like in the Bible, I don't know my Bible too well, but everyone knows the story of Noah, right? And in the book, God was willing to just wipe clean the whole earth and completely start over again. But He saw one family that was still doing good, that was still moral, that was still just, Noah's family, and decided, I'm not going to completely wipe out the human race for the sins of the many, because there is still good within it. I do believe that there is still good within Islam. There are people in Islam who want to reform the religion. There are Muslims who openly criticize the religion. There are women who take pictures of themselves without their hijab, without their veil, in defiance of the absolute patriarchy that Islam is. There are good people in Islam, and I don't think that. And don't let these videos make you think that I think we should just take up our guns, wipe out the Middle East. No, I don't think all Muslims should suffer for the crimes of few, which is why I don't think that the West should intervene in Syria and places like that, because that's all that's happened. We've only made it really made it worse. Nightshade Gaming. Hey Evan, I totally agree. This has to stop. People are dying, and we are not solving our problems. And like I said, I mean, yes, absolutely true. And we do need to solve our own problems. We need to fortify our own countries, make our own countries and citizens safer. And then maybe we can do something about all this. But fact is, we got to protect our own people. And right now, that's being made near impossible with the political correctness, with the political class saying, "Hey, Muslims, nothing to do with Islam." Yeah, Manchester. Allah Akbar. Krayas. I don't know if that's how your name is said. As a fan of your channel and content, I share your feelings and concerns, and ultimately it makes me lose faith in humanity that nothing is rightfully being done, and we are constantly being told to forget and move on. And props for you to making your video, considering what you know in terms of content. Yeah, there is a risk. I don't think there's much of a risk for me. One, because I don't give a about what Islam sympathists or really opposing viewpoints at all had to say about it. Because I do know I'm right. I look at the world and I do know that I am at least mostly right. And I'm glad, and that's, like I said at the start of the video, I was surprised to see that the response to this video was at least not overwhelmingly negative, like I was kind of expecting. I was honestly expecting a death threat by now. I'll probably get one. But I am glad to see that this message reached people that do resonate with this, because I do realize now that I'm not as angry. That there are people out here. There are many other people, maybe even the majority of people, who are sick of this crap. But they feel like they don't have a voice. Well, if you do like I do, you do. I may have only reached 150 people, but that's more people than I could have reached by walking around protesting in my town. That's more, because my town is like 75% old people, by the way, that have come here to live out the last years of their life, and the rest are extremely liberal bratty kids that honestly aren't that political, but I wouldn't be able to help them, except for the few that are my friends. There's no one really that I could go out in the streets and reach with this message. But I've reached this many people within a day. You can talk about this. And YouTube, for all of the censorship it's trying to pull on people, it's still a free enough platform. Alright? Don't let people think you don't have a voice. And I hope, Crayas, that you believe this, that you realize that as well. Bisexual Onion. I f***ing love your name, by the way. That's so true about celebrities. There was a state officer that got shot, and I was in the school close to it. And when we left the lockdown, people were like, so this is the saddest day ever. And it pissed me off. And because they act like they knew him and actually care, but they don't. Well, I don't know if you guys remember. A couple years ago, I actually vlogged about. While I was still in high school, a girl committed suicide. She would have been in my graduating class. Her name was Caitlin. And honestly, she was a beautiful, tall, blonde girl. I mean, she was really kind, sweet, and quiet. And she was in my chemistry class. I actually did know of her a little bit. I didn't know her very well as a person, but I still know people who were her friends. And on the day I found out that she had committed suicide, it is weird for me. Because like I said in the last video, I can't forget stuff like this. I mean, maybe, because I don't know if I've vlogged about this either. I have dealt with wanting to commit suicide for years. I'm only now starting to kind of come off it. I'm only now starting to move on from my issues. And the fact that this girl in my class committed suicide, I mean, I didn't even know her. And the fact is, I still sit here sometimes thinking, well, what if I just walked over to that pretty girl in chemistry class who looked so sad all the time? What if I could have helped her? What if I could have been her friend? Well, like, what if it would have saved her? Alright? And I'll probably always think about it. Because me, I don't know what it is about me, but I only seem destined to remember the bad things. But I at least do so probably in hope that I can help other people not forget as well. But yeah, absolutely, Onion. Virtue signaling is absolutely cancerous. And it's not, like I said, it's not only disgusting and narcissistic, it's incredibly lazy. You're not donating any of your time, effort, or compassion. You literally only had to go on Twitter and write down 120 letters. It's lazy as hell. That's why I hate it so much. It doesn't take any effort or actual authenticity. And I'm glad you noticed that too. Because sometimes I feel absolutely insane, like, hey, am I the only one, am I crazy here? Am I the only one who noticed this is shit? Risky enterprise. Just being angry doesn't fix it. How do we fix it? We need to stop blowing up those little girls in Syria and wherever abouts that radicalizes them. Like I said, Western intervention has only made things worse. Obama constantly drone-striked Syria, and it only ever made things worse. But wherever abouts that radicalizes them, that kind of pisses me off that you say that. You act as if Western civilization, and even the guy Darkest Mirror who commented below you, you guys act like Western civilization is the sole cause of Islamic radicalization. Islam is not just prone to radicalization. It basically already is. You have all these verses in the Quran that call for killing people who mock the Prophet, who mock Allah, who mock the religion itself, who disagree with it. Like I mentioned earlier, it kills apostasies, people who leave the religion. It kills and persecutes people and Muslims within the religion who want reform. These are all signs of evil within. Don't make no mistake. Yes, Western civilization has made some things worse, but you can't blame the West. You can't blame the US and England and other places in the West for all the problems that have been inherent in Islam since the day it was f***ing born. Alright? It's bullshit. You have no idea what you're talking about. Meow Captain, this is the last one. The reason they say continue as normal is because if you're terrorized, the terrorists win. I mean, it's like I said, and I even commented on this to him. Like I said, there are two things you can do with fear. Yes, I mean, yeah, you should be afraid. If you react, and the whole idea of like reacting nonchalantly to 20 girls being killed and 50 being wounded, reacting to that nonchalantly, that's far more concerning than being afraid. But you can because we humans, we have our three base emotions: anger, fear, and greed. We can either let our fear and anger paralyze us, or we can let it like spur us into action. And that's what needs to be done. We need to stop letting our fear tie us down. And we need to stop, because That's what political correctness is. It's fear of offending Islam. Why do you think they're so afraid of offending Islam? God damn that lens flare. So why do you think people are so afraid of offending Islam? They know exactly why. It's because Islam is so dangerous, that Muslims are so dangerously easy to radicalize, to anger. Look, they draw a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad, and they go and a bunch of terrorists go in and gun down everyone in the office. And I talked about the guy in the British prison system who just put a rasher of bacon on a mosque door handle. Is that rude? Absolutely. Did he need to die for it in prison? No. And people are saying, well, there's no evidence that Muslims killed him in prison. Okay, so he committed an affront, what's considered an affront to Islam. And he died in a prison system overflowing with Muslims. Not sure if you know how to put two and two together, but I do. This is why I hate political correctness, because it is fear. It's letting fear paralyze you. And political correctness not only paralyzes the people who preach it, it paralyzes anyone who dares speak up. Because right now, Muslims are only being used as political shields. Where someone attacks your argument, you can just say, oh, well, you hate us? You hate Muslims. He hates Muslims, everyone! He's a witch! Burn him! Seriously. And I don't know how many videos I'll do on this. That's all the feedback I have on this video for right now. I don't know how long how many more videos I'll do like this. Because, I'm not sure who said it. It was Krayas who said it. Considering what you're known for in terms of content. I don't want this to become what my channel is about. I don't want it to just become about politics, because I do still care about making my short films and doing my retarded gaming videos, alright? But sometimes we gotta confront these things, because this is a discussion that needs to be had, and I'm willing to keep it open if you guys so wish. Because, like I said, these discussions need to be had, or more people are gonna die. But again, the message of this video is, don't let fear tie you down. Whether that be fear of Islam, fear of terrorist attacks, fear of political correctness, fear of being labeled a right-wing extremist. Don't let that terrorize you. Become anger, become courage, and bring hope back. Because right now, we need all the hope we can get. Take care, guys. Be safe out there.